Welcome to Pictures of Health, where we practice being healthy and not perfect.
This first episode, I want to share how to set healthy boundaries. Boundaries are necessary because toxicity likes to travel. And if you're not careful, you can become an unwilling passenger. I like to think of boundaries like a fence that lets some people stay in but keep others out. But as we all know, some people like to climb fences. And that's when our boundaries become crossed and it's a violation to us. It's really important that you protect your life against toxicity because it can be like a poison. And while that poison might not kill you, it might kill your hopes, dreams, and aspirations. So it's important to guard your heart and your life against toxic people, toxic workplaces, toxic environments of any nature, because they can all be deterrents to your destiny. Forming healthy boundaries can start with a simple thing like just saying no. And I know that's a cliche, but I'm always surprised that people give excuses when they know they have no intention of following up. For example, I have heard so many people say, let me think about it, or I'll see, when they know fully well when they're asked that they have no intentions of attending the event or doing whatever the person has requested of them. But instead of saying no, they will give a different excuse. Being nice is not necessarily always honest. And I think it's more important that we be honest than nice. Nice is good. I think we should strive to be nice. But sometimes nice will not send the correct message that you want to convey. My 23-year-old daughter gets a kick out of me because she's a nice person generally. She has a heart of gold. And when we're in the stores and the salespeople are in the aisles trying to push one utility service over another, it just seems like we're inundated in the stores with salespeople these days. And I've got on a mask. I'm tired. I'm hot. I came in to get my items and I want to leave. I don't want to be bothered and sold anything. And I don't even bother saying no. My daughter will say, oh, no, I don't want it. But I don't even say no. I simply shake my head and keep moving. I shake my head no, and I keep moving. You see, another boundary that we need to learn to accept is letting our no be enough. Did you know that having to explain or over explain yourself is a trauma response? Yes, psychologists will tell you. Actually, my therapist told me that my over explaining was a trauma response. You see, I had an abusive childhood. So, of course, that taught me to allow abuse, right? Abuse was normal for me. My boundaries had been crossed. And when that happens, you will become a person who over explains. You'll be able, or you'll be the type of person that will say, no, I need to, or no, this is the reason why I can't do that. And sometimes giving an explanation is needed, but you don't have to over explain because your no is enough. You can let your no be no and your yes be yes. Now, as a result of my abusive childhood, I spent my teens and 20s trying to be accepted, trying to get people to like me, okay, overcompensating and over explaining. It wasn't until I accepted Christ into my life and began to develop a relationship with Him that I began to learn that I have been accepted into the family of God. And He accepts everyone. He doesn't reject anyone. Now, once I accepted Christ into my life and began to develop a relationship with Him, I slowly began to change. Also, therapy helped quite a bit. But do you know that even God has boundaries? He does. I'm going to take you to the scripture, Proverbs 8:29. Yes, Proverbs 8:29. It explains that God set the limits of the seas so that they would not spread beyond their boundaries. And He marked off the earth's foundation. So when God was creating the earth and its foundation and the sea, he set parameters in place. God has boundaries. And therefore, we need them too, because we're created in his likeness, and we need to develop healthy boundaries as well. Now, here's a good boundary that we all should have. Don't let your ears be a garbage dump. People will unload all kind of evil plot schemes, their evil ways, and they'll also unload a lot of their complaints onto you. Some people have no intention of changing. They just want to vent. And I'm totally for letting my inner circle vent. We're human, we have to vent. But when someone vents over and over about the same thing, that's complaining. And they're using you as a garbage dump. You want to guard your heart, because out of it flows the issues of life. Words are like seeds. And if you let negativity and evil language and talk be planted in your heart, it will grow and it will produce a harvest. Another boundary that we need to place is around the people that we allow into our lives, the places we go, and the things we do, because this all shapes our environment. And while your environment doesn't make you, it will shape you. You want to be careful about those who are in your environment, the things they're doing while they're there, and things that can be a negative or toxic experience for you. The last boundary that I'll offer you in this session is to put a boundary around your friends. You want to choose wise friends. I often say that I didn't get to choose my family. Those jokers were here when I got here. But I do get to choose my friends. And you should have good boundaries around who can be your friend. Everyone doesn't deserve the gift of being in your friend circle. Here are 2 requirements that I have for friendships. One is they must know more than I know. And the second one is they must have more than I have. The people I'm going to introduce you to meet that requirement. And I would strongly suggest that you consider implementing requirements that are valuable for you. It's important for me that I grow, that I expand. And I knew that the only way I could do that was to expose myself to people who had experienced things that I had not experienced, or people who had gone places I hadn't gone. That's the way you stretch and you grow. Now, I do admit it does take a bit of emotional stability and maturity to do that, because you're never going to be the smartest person in the room. So you have to be comfortable with yourself to handle that situation, because they won't tolerate your being jealous of them, and they won't tolerate your not being supportive of them. So those are things that I do, just a suggestion, not saying that it's necessary for you to do. Just wanted to offer that as something that I practiced. That's going to wrap up this session on setting healthy boundaries. If you need help with setting healthy boundaries, grab some time on my calendar and I'd be sure to work with you on doing that. There's a Calendly link below that you can use to schedule some time, and we can work together to help you work through your boundaries. Also, if there is a healthy topic that you need to learn more about, tell us about it in the comments section there. Until next time, you want to hold everyone at levels that honor you. Bye-bye.